I had to plug in my headphones because Val, the great newscaster that she is, she uses her own headsets in the morning and never plugs in the ones that are right here, the ones that I like to use. And so I have to fix what she didn't take care of. I'm not trying to boss on her or anything. She is a great gal. By the way, listen to Russ and Val every weekday morning from 6 to 9 with Chattanooga's Morning News. Get you up to date with all the latest news, weather, sports, traffic 12 times an hour. That's how important we feel that it is. So make sure you tune in to Russ and Val with Chattanooga's Morning News. Coming up later after tonight's show, we've got two millennials talking with Russ and Keon live. I'm telling you, Russell Stroud is one of the hardest working individuals I have ever met for a 22-year-old. And yes, ladies, he is available, I think. Are you? I don't know. He's probably going to kill me or come in here and strangle me or something. But anyway, what? I said, are you available? And I said, I think he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
One of the hardest working 22-year-olds, and he's available to the ladies.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
May as well be.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I've got you here.
Yeah. What's up?
Any heads up on the topics for two millennials talking?
Yeah, so Keon is usually the one who works the hardest on figuring out headlines, and he came out with a pretty good one today. Can the game, video game specifically, be too hard is the question. I don't think so, and I think he begs to differ, but we'll debate that.
And I'm sure it will be very interesting. Any taste testing tonight?
No taste testing.
No? I was talking with somebody, one of my clients out on the road today, and I was saying about how you guys get all the glory with all the taste testing and stuff, and ginger soda, I think it was.
Ginger beer, yeah.
Yeah, and like last night, I had chicken salad chick with a buffalo flavor, which was really, really good. And I said, maybe this is the start of a trend. And he says, well, don't expect that from my place because I know how you eat. And it's like, I guess you're right. But two millennials talking coming up right after CBS World and National News at 8 o'clock. So it'll be right around 7 or 8 after. Have we heard any more, just briefly, about Florida International and the bridge collapse?
There are people who are trapped under the bridge that are working to excavate them now, as far as I know.
Okay.
So that's the latest I've heard. There's still details coming out. You know, with this kind of tragedy, it takes a long
ongoing.
time.
Yeah.
But right now, they're still working on getting people out. No official number yet on casualties. They have, I think, 12 so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No. Thoughts and prayers for those individuals that, are down there in that. And what I heard was they just opened it on Saturday. What are you supposed to open until next year?
Yeah, they put out this whole big promotional video about it too, showing off this great bridge they had, how it's this revolutionary new design. Look how safe it is, right? And then, this happens. So it's.
I see a lot of lawsuits coming.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of money coming in.
A lot of class action.
Yeah.
So, all right. So join Russell and Keon for two millennials talking coming up, and of course, join you and Val tomorrow morning. 6 to 9.
6 to 9.
You're in here early and you're working late.
Yeah, what else is new?
Yeah, really. Thanks.
Sure.
All right. Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. Yes, that is what we're supposed to be tonight. 7 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And tomorrow night, Cindy will have Nooga Sports Outdoors. And interesting guest. I don't know if Randy Wharton is going to be in here with her or not, but she always has interesting guests. Bye, Jen. I don't know if she waved or not, but that's all right. Anyway, we encourage you to call 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. And we want to say hello out there to Nathan, who is tuning in over in Signal Mountain. And we hope that you're having a great evening as well. NCAA tournament got underway. They had play-in games. And they also had first round games. Number 3 ranked Tennessee, I know, defeated Wright State. It was like 73 to 47, something like that. It was a lopsided score even at halftime. So Tennessee's moving into the second round. They'll be playing on Saturday against a to-be-determined opponent. They're over in Dallas. The UT women are in I think Charlotte or Raleigh, somewhere over in North Carolina playing. And then our UTC women were in action with UAB today in the WNIT. So we'll try to get you updated with all that information as well. So with that, let's get you started with a little bit of information here. What's been going on? Lee men's tennis, they won 7-2 over Alabama Huntsville. The Flames got a 7-2 victory in that. You don't want to join in? Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm ready for you now. Okay. My good buddy, Keon Rose, who is one of the hardest working people other than Russell Stroud here at the station, tries to keep me straight. That's why he's sports director. Now, I may have more years doing games and being on the air and stuff, but Keon does work hard, not only here, but also for the TV station. But Keon, you found out how well UT won big today over.
Yeah, I watched that game.
Yeah,
that was an amazing performance by Tennessee. Rick Barnes has his team playing well right now.
Well, when you're beating your opponent by about 30 points, I mean, it should have been an exhibition.
It didn't look like there was anything that you could do to stop them. I mean, they played defense well. They shot the ball well. Admiral Schofield might be my favorite player in the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what I've seen of him, I mean, he's very amazing and outstanding. The one thing I would ask you is, did the NCAA flub up in giving Wright State such a high, considering a number 14 seed? I mean, should they have been a 15 or a 16 seed?
I don't know. I honestly think that Tennessee is that good. Okay. And also the matchup really just didn't favor them. If it were any other 3 seed, maybe Wright State looks a little bit better. That just wasn't a good fit for them offensively.
Right. So it will be a long trip back to North Carolina for the Wright State team.
Yes, the Wright State Raiders, I believe.
Raiders? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so UT getting their big victory. Do you know offhand who they're going to be facing possibly on Saturday?
I believe, who I think I actually missed that score writing it down. Miami lost to whoever lost between Miami, I think, and
if you hang tight here and go over those scores, I'll go grab the bracket.
Okay, yeah.
I know where it's at.
Yeah, I had my bracket on my phone, left my phone over in the other office, but here's the scores of the day for the NCAA tournament thus far. As you know, we just talked about it. Tennessee blows past Wright State 73-47. Loyola Chicago beats Miami 64-62. Gonzaga escapes UNCG 68-64. That was a very good game. Went absolutely down to the wire. Kansas holding off Penn 76-60. I mean, the 16-point score at the end of that game does not indicate how close Penn was to bothering Kansas all day long. Rhode Island shuts down Trae Young 83-78. Trae Young and Oklahoma. I say Trae Young instead of Oklahoma because Trae Young is the team. If Trae Young does not play well, Oklahoma doesn't play well. Rhode Island shut him down and held Oklahoma in check, essentially. And Duke routs Iona 89-67. And the play of the game, Grayson Allen, who is possibly the dirtiest person in college sports, shot a buzzer beater while Duke was beating Iona half to death at halftime. So he shoots the halftime buzzer beater and nails the 3. But they're the 2 seed playing the 15.
So you said Miami lost to Loyola?
Loyola Chicago, yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's who Tennessee plays next?
Yes.
Okay. So I've already got a bracket buster because I picked Miami to beat Loyola Chicago.
Did you have him beating Tennessee as well?
No, I didn't go that far.
Okay. So maybe not get to get.
Well, I mean, Miami, Florida, I mean, that's one of my highlighted teams in the bracket. You know, I picked them over Loyola, so I mean, my bracket's already busted. I ain't even got started. But yeah, all right. So hopefully, Tennessee, if they can beat Loyola Chicago, possibly, hopefully. Let's see, Texas and Cincinnati are my other 2 teams that are in that same region. So that's who I've got. Texas beating Nevada and Cincinnati beating Georgia State. So hopefully I would even go for an upset with Nevada beating Texas. Cincinnati, I think, is okay. I don't think Georgia State could even come close to beating them. But we'll see. That is quite interesting.
The Georgia State head coach, and I forget his name, but at the press conference, this guy was doing everything to get his team fired up. He was talking about how they had them at the cheap hotel and they were eating Wendy's while Cincinnati was eating steak at Ruth's Chris. I mean, like, he went full in on.
Yeah, but that could be very well true. I mean, Georgia State, rather, is not your typical big Division I school.
No.
So they could.
It could be true, but I think he is telling the truth about the hotel. He thinks that they were left across the tracks, and he's not happy about it. But mostly, he's using it to fire up his team right now.
Yeah, but the school, I mean, NCAA typically, what my experiences were, because of working with Penn State and stuff, typically have the hotels already booked up, for the different schools. So, I mean, even though Georgia State may be one of the lower seeds, in fact, 15th in that region and everything, typically the NCAA is not going to find you a Red Roof Inn or, Economy Inn or anything like that. They're going to put you in a nicer thing, but the school ultimately is the one that's responsible for paying for the hotel stay and everything.
Right.
So, maybe they had to switch and go to more economical.
It's possible, but look, the bulletin board material was real right there for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe he's just trying to get the team fired up so they can pull the upset of the century, literally.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
That is my actual guess. But we had the Kansas game. Kansas wins 76-60. But
I thought my Quakers would do better than that.
They did for most of the game. At halftime, I think Kansas was only up 5. 5-6. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I believe Penn had the lead for a good chunk of the first half there. I mean, I was worried.
Yeah.
I was worried. I have Kansas, I believe, in my Final Four.
Now, let me ask you this. The disparaging differential between Tennessee and Wright State was, like I said, almost 30 points. Duke and Iona, only 20 points apart. Are you surprised thinking that Duke would have really put on an exhibition and a spanking of all kinds against Iona?
I mean, I feel like this wasn't spanking. It wasn't as big a gap as Tennessee and Wright State, but Duke and Iona, Duke was in charge of that game from about
the tip, probably.
Well, Iona had an early lead, but from about the 3-minute mark in, it was all Duke. It was all Blue Devils the entire way. There's at no point did Iona really have a shot to win.
Okay. Who was the other game that was I think you mentioned one other upset other than Loyola of Chicago beating Miami, Florida.
Well, Gonzaga did win. They avoided the upset, but the UNCG, UNCG lost by 4, 68-64, and honestly, could have very well won that game. They had a couple of really bad turnovers in the last 2 possessions that cost them that game. But honestly, Gonzaga didn't do a whole lot to impress me. I honestly thought UNCG was the better basketball team the entire way through. Wow. And UNCG, of course, being the champions of the Southern Conference, the ACC also plays it.
So the Zags just kind of walked their way through the game, basically?
I wouldn't say that. I thought they were really trying. But the issue is, and the thing that I was afraid of with Gonzaga was they don't have anybody inside that's scary. I mean, they're a shooting team. They live by the 3 and die by the 3.
Yeah, big time.
And they were dying today.
Now, they'll take on either Ohio State or South Dakota State, which
that was the other one I missed there. Ohio State won their game, but incredibly close.
Really?
South Dakota State has a player, I believe his name is Mike Dom, nicknamed the Dominator. He played like it. I mean, this guy is 6'10". He's got great moves around the basket, but he can step out and shoot threes.
Is he a forward or a post?
He's the center.
Okay.
He's kind of an undersized center, but he pushed around Ohio State. And Ohio State, and Candace Parker was in the halftime show, and she brought up a really good point. Ohio State was shooting a lot of threes. They were afraid to go inside to Dom to try and challenge that guy at the rim. and they shot more threes in the first half of that game than they have taken in any single Ohio State game this season.
Okay.
They just got completely pushed out of their element, but they won.
So since you had an opportunity to catch a lot of games today on the tube, any surprises here in the last 30 seconds or so?
Well, one of the big surprises to me was actually like how Ohio State played. Because I thought Ohio State was great all season long, and I think that when they needed to score, they were able to score. But that lack of an interior, that was really surprising to me. I didn't think that they were going to get pushed around like that. I know that South Dakota State is a solid team, but I just didn't think that that was going to be the school to push them around, and they needed a late three to kind of pull ahead at the end, and they got it. But I was really surprised by that, and I have Ohio State going quite far.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm sure you would.
It bothered me a little bit. Yeah.
But South Dakota State, I mean, is more known for their football prowess than they are in basketball. So it's good to see that some of these, what we would call the old 1AA schools, you know, are up in the big boy spotlight now and everything, and trying to, you know, make a name for themselves. I mean, because it is a PR campaign when you get to this level in the postseason and stuff.
Right. And if you're a good basketball team and you're particularly well coached, you can find guys that are pretty athletic and pretty good. And maybe they're not the guys that Duke and North Carolina are looking at. But South Dakota found a number of players that were pretty much overlooked by other teams. And South Dakota State looked like the more athletic team for most of that game.
Almost like a Hoosiers.
Little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Okay. So we got Keon coming up here after the 8 o'clock hour with Russell, with Two Millennials Talking. And, you know, he kind of gave a little bit of a preview, though. It sounds like it's going to be an interesting conversation about this one game that is going to be talked about. Maybe I missed.
Yeah, no, it's there's a video game that came out. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if there's such a thing as a game that's too hard. Because people, it's so hard that people have asked for their money back.
Oh, wow.
Because if you play the game on the easiest mode, you don't get to see the real ending of the game, and there are animations in the game that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see.
Yeah.
So first off, is it fair for a company to do that? Right? Like,
they want to keep you interested so you can advance and move on to the next video that they come out with.
But it's a tough game, and it's supposed to be a throwback to those old Nintendo games. You know, it's kind of side-scrolling game like Mario and stuff. So you're like, is the game too hard?
So you'll have to tune in and find out what the Two Millennials Talking have to say about that. So I know you won't be here tomorrow night. Are you looking at any big surprises? I thought our time was running out, but maybe not. As far as with the NCAA tournament?
Any big surprises? Here's the thing. I feel like this is the bracket I'm most worried about, but it's also my most boring one, because I didn't go straight chalk, but there are just points where I'm just not certain. Like, there's not a clear best team here, but also I think the best teams are good enough to win. So I don't know exactly what big surprises are necessarily out there. I think one of my bigger ones is I have St. Bonaventure beating Florida.
That could very well be. The Bunnies are really good.
They're really good, and Florida's streaky. Florida, when they're good, they're great. When they're not, they're terrible.
I'm still looking forward. Hopefully I can catch this, because I don't have cable. I've got a lot of digital channels and stuff.
I haven't watched online.
Yeah. Bucknell and Michigan State. That's the one game I'm really looking forward to, and Arkansas and Butler. You know.
Well, because Bucknell's made a name for themselves in the past, spoiling things before. Michigan State, I haven't actually heard that much about them this season as I have in past.
I think they were like 3rd or 4th in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's because they weren't good, or because Michigan was so good this year, and Ohio State was so good this year,
and Purdue
was so good this year. It was just a loaded conference.
Yeah, except for my Nittany Lions. Well, sorry,
basketball's not their game.
No, it definitely isn't. It hasn't been since '89. I can tell you that. But all right, so and I'm sure you're still picking Michigan State over Bucknell.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay.
By the way, Davidson and Kentucky tied at 17 apiece in the first half. 10 minutes on the first.
But it's still early, though, because Kentucky's always late coming to the dance. And
Kentucky's going to have they're going to have to do a lot of work here. There's a lot of shooting going on.
We've got more sports coming your way here on Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. If you want to talk about something, 423-800-8949. Back in a moment after the break.
Chattanooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
Accused copper thief arrested. Boston police have charged a suspect with theft of copper wiring that also created a hazmat scare over the weekend. 46-year-old Christopher Nichols was arrested and charged with second-degree burglary, but more charges could come soon. TDOT gearing up for yet more road work. East Brainerd Road's widening project can continue thanks to much-needed funding courtesy of Governor Bill Haslam's Improve Act. The second phase of the East Brainerd Road expansion will widen a 1.5-mile section of the corridor from 2 lanes to 5. Dalton police are searching for 2 people suspected of stealing over $1,000 in cologne from the Walgreens on West Walnut Avenue. Police say the woman used a key to open the display case. Store management baffled, wondering how these 2 even got a key for the display case. Al St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, News Now.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
We expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through your nighttime. Cold overnight, lows mid and upper 20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Like cold highs, still around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Cat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks, just off 575 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Swarteen 12, Chief Meteorologist Pat Report.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val, weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
They're all under $10,000.
$10,000.
That's right. Powerful V8 heavy cars under $10,000. At Southern Fleet Sales in East Ridge. But you got to get there now for the best selection. These are retired cop cars. And man, are they fast. You want to look really cool. You want a fast car for under 10 grand. Then get the Southern Fleet Sales in East Ridge. That's not just a V8. It's a V8 heavy cop car. SouthernFleetSales.com. 3900 Ringgold Road, East Ridge.
Oh man, rush. I've got to get stuff for the party. Where can I go? It's going to give me a wide selection of beer, wines, and spirits. Oh, I got it. I'll go to Harry's Wine and Spirits, Signal Mountain. Maybe East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd. I could go to Riley's Wines and Spirits in Hickson. Wow, look at the huge selection in here. Look at these great prices. Amazing. Oh yeah, I'm going to find something for my lady too. I'm going to make this party a success.
Make your party a success when you stop in at Harry's Wine and Spirits in Signal Mountain, East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd, and Riley's Wine and Spirits in Hickson.
Mom's Furniture. Her boxes of paperback romances. Mom's estate. Oh, call Dan. Dan will help you get on with your life. Let Dan clear the old house. Take care of everything. He'll hand you a nice check. 314-4034. Dan, the cleanup man. 314-4034. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Let Goss Insurance in Chattanooga help you today. GossInsurance.wordpress.com. Goss, representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. GossInsurance.com. Goss. GossInsurance.com, representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. 875-2500, 875-2500.
Your car is broken or about to be, so the problem is, who do you trust? I wouldn't go any farther than Christian Brothers Automotive in Hickson. Come in today and take advantage of the new special. It's an oil change with synthetic oil. At $39, that's a steal. Synthetic oil makes your car or truck last longer. Some restrictions apply. At Christian Brothers, a great shop with a 2-year or 24,000-mile warranty. You decide. Free shuttle service, Class A mechanics. Local owner, nice difference. A synthetic oil change, $39. Wow.
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3, HD4, and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
All right, we're back for the second segment of tonight's show. Glad to have you along wherever you may be. Don't forget, coming up after the news at the top of the hour, we've got two millennials talking with Russell and Keon, or Keon and Russell. I don't know who takes the lead on that, but they're both here, so you have your options available. So the NCAA tournament is underway and a lot of basketball action for the next couple of weeks, and hopefully it will evolve into Tennessee maybe being in that championship game and taking on Bucknell or Arkansas. How about that? That'd be the best of my world, for sure. So already got several games in the books already today. Loyola Chicago upsetting Miami 64-62. Tennessee blowing past Wright State 73-47. Pretty decisive 26-point victory there for Tennessee. Rhode Island, I was a little bit surprised. I mean, Rhode Island, I saw them last weekend in the American Athletic Conference Championship game, and Rhode Island looked pretty good. But, they were able to hold off their holding off their opponent and moving on into the next round, defeating Oklahoma. I had Rhode Island picked over Oklahoma, but I think Rhode Island's going to see the other side of the coin when they take on Duke up in Pittsburgh on Saturday. That will be an interesting contest. But I'd love for Rhode Island to pull that upset over Duke. I really would. Duke and UNC, they kind of give you that taste of like the New England Patriots or the Atlanta Braves in baseball, where they're winning all the time. And, it's good to see an underdog be able to get that victory. Now, eventually they're going to have to go up against Bucknell possibly if Bucknell can beat Michigan State. And then either TCU or Syracuse or Arizona State, whoever won that play-in game, to take on TCU. But it will be interesting, to say the least. Now, Arkansas, if they can beat Butler, will take on either Purdue or Cal State Fullerton. Arkansas and Purdue, that would be an interesting matchup, pretty evenly matched up, to say the least. Now, out of the four regions, I actually think, and Keon may disagree with me, but I think that the Midwest is the weaker of the four regions. And there's a lot of good teams, Tennessee, Virginia, Kansas State, Kentucky, Texas, Cincinnati. They're in the South, and I think that they will do well along the way. The West isn't too bad. I mean, led by Xavier. Missouri, they could, have a tough time with Florida State. Could. Then you got Ohio State, Gonzaga, who got a victory today. Houston, San Diego State. Houston, I think, would be the better team out of that. Michigan and Montana, another interesting matchup. Providence, A&M out of Texas, and North Carolina. So the West is in pretty good shape. The East has got some fairly decent teams that are in there, but I think the Midwest is actually the weaker of the bunch. So it'll be interesting to see how well that may come through and be true in itself. All right. We got a lot more to talk about other than just basketball. Also, Keon, if you can hear me, if you can look and see if there's a score update for UTC and UA Birmingham, please. All right. I had to add the word please in there. I didn't want to be disrespectful. But we'll try to get you an update on that if possible. The straight shooters participating in the Tennessee shooters clay team earned their started their season in the Ironman competition in Nashville this past weekend. The Ironman competition focuses on testing their skills in skeet, sporting clays, and trap against those in different age brackets and skill levels. Those from the team choosing to participate consist of the red team, which had Blythe Booker, Bray Booker, Trey Thacker III, Colton Wees, and Mason Wees. They won first place in the HOA. Blue team consisted of Scott Bowers II, McLean Flory, Robert Harwood, Tanner O'Kelly, and Jacob Sullivan, where they placed fourth. Also mentioning Bray Booker placed second in the individual senior junior varsity division, and Jacob Sullivan placed third in the intermediate advanced rookie division. So if you'd like to find out more, go to their Facebook page, Straight Shooters Clay Team, and you can find out more about them. And possibly with tomorrow night, with Nooga Sports Outdoors, maybe we'll have some more information about those. And you can always listen in particular with our outdoors programming with Cindy and Randy and the entire gang with Nooga Sports Outdoors every Friday night from 7 to 8 p.m. here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Switching gears to Chattanooga Mox women's golf teams and track this weekend to the Honka El Tigre Invitation in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The El Tigre Golf Club hosts the 12-team field that includes 2 top 20 programs and a total of 9 among the top 100 in the country. Mox flipped the switch from fall to the spring schedule. At the season's turn, the ladies averaged 300.08 through 15 cards. First 6 of 2018, they posted a 294 scoring average, tying for third at the Moon Golf Invitational and ending up runner-up last time out at the North Florida Collegiate. Tournament started with 36 holes, followed by final 18 on Tuesday, the 36 holes on Monday. And you can always go to gomox.com and to the women's golf schedule page where you can find out the links to the live scoring and pairings that are available. So good luck to those ladies there. All right. Rhino, Kentucky on top of Davidson, 30-21. And if I'm not mistaken, Kentucky is in the South Division or South Region. They'll take on the winner of Arizona and Buffalo on Saturday. So just kind of giving you a live update through our partners over at News 12 Now. That's airing the game in its entirety on CBS and News 12. While we're talking tennis, a 7-match winning streak came to an end for the Covenant men's tennis team on Wednesday with a 6-3 loss at region foe Oglethorpe. This was down in Atlanta at Oglethorpe College. The win streak set a program record for Covenant, who's now 8-2, and is still off to its best 10-match start in the program's history. Covenant collected its points from the play of seniors Matthew Harvey and Chris Cox. The duo moved to 10-2 overall in the year in doubles play with a win at the top spot after an Oglethorpe player got injured, forcing a retired match. Harvey and Cox led 3-0 in the match when it was called. Covenant gets back into USA South play on Friday with a match at Maryville. First service set for 2:30 p.m. Dalton State Roadrunners advanced to the round of 16 with a win over Cumberlands in the first round of the NAIA tournament at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, Missouri on Thursday morning. And the game was tied at numerous points, but the Patriots would take care of business for a while, then the Roadrunners would take advantage of it. But in the end, the number 4 seed, Dalton State, advancing to the round of 16 with that 62-60 win over number 5 seed Cumberlands out of Kentucky. The first round of the NAIA tournament, men's basketball tournament, going on in Kansas City. And I've been to Municipal Auditorium, beautiful 50-style constructed facility, one of the old facilities where a lot of events have been over the years. So let's see, the Roadrunners, they're going to advance and meet the winner of number 1 seed William Penn out of Iowa or number 8 seed Science and Arts of Oklahoma at 7:30 p.m. at Municipal Auditorium there in Kansas City. So best of luck to the Dalton State Roadrunners. All right, we had on Coach Heath Esslinger the other night, the head wrestling coach at UTC, and he is up in Cleveland there at Quicken Loans Arena, or more affectionately known as the Q, one of the new facilities for events around the country. And the Q also has the Cleveland Cavaliers there, and they also have some hockey teams that play there as well. But and a lot of events. They had the Republican National Convention there last summer, which I was working quite handedly, helping CBS News out with that. And it's like you had to walk almost a mile because of everything being blocked off because of, the various candidates that were there. Quite a few of them, and the convention going on, and you know what happened after that with Trump getting the nomination and thus defeating Hillary. But the Division I Wrestling Championships going on beginning today, and UTC posted an 8-7 dual match record and finished second in the Southern Conference regular season race. Knox were also runners-up in the SoCon tournament and had 3 individuals qualify for the NCAA championships, those being Scotty Boykin, a senior at 197, senior Bryce Carr at 184, and junior Alonzo Allen. So those 3 individuals, Allen wrestles at 125. He's 21-8 on the year. Number 12 nationally ranked Bryce Carr at 184 is 26-5 on the season. And at 197 ranked 10th nationally, Scotty Boykin with a 26-6 record. So Coach Heath Esslinger with a 101-61 record in his 9th year here in Chattanooga, leading the Mox wrestling team and having 3 individuals that are representing Chattanooga at the NCAA championships. And of course, pretty much the teams, and Coach Esslinger, conveyed this as well, pretty much the same quality teams that you're getting accustomed to at the Southern Scuffle are the same teams that you find at the NCAA championships. So that's why the Southern Scuffle is such a huge and important tournament that's held here in Chattanooga. This is the man that I think has got what we're looking for. Score update with UTC and Alabama Birmingham.
So the UAB Blazers currently lead Chattanooga 30-22 at the half.
Close.
Yeah, close game.
Now, if you're Coach Foster, I don't know if you know Coach Foster.
A little bit.
But he's humorous, but he's very intricate in his detail when he's talking basketball. What do you think he would be saying to the girls?
He's also a very confident guy.
Oh yeah,
and I don't think that even right now that they're down 8 points at halftime, I really don't think that he thinks that they're losing this game. Like I really believe that he thinks they're going to win it.
Oh, I mean, this is a man that you wished you had coaching all of your teams. I mean, I don't know how old Coach Foster is. I'm assuming that he's at least in his early 60s, at least. But I tell you what, I mean, having 900 plus wins on your resume, and that's over a 30-something year career record. He must know something. Now, he's got Lakeland Bolden back, who was out pretty much the entire conference because of a death in the family. And she's back in the lineup. The only thing that they're missing that they're used to is Kiana Gilbert. And it's very unfortunate for Kiana to be missing out on this. I mean, this has got to be killing her. But knowing Coach Foster in the short time that I've been around Chattanooga, it's like, all right, ladies, you know what we need to do. Let's go out. Let's execute. Let's win this. We can do this. I mean, that just seems like the attitude or the comments that you would hear from Coach Foster. He's not too concerned. Maybe in the last 2 or 3 minutes of a contest, you may see him a little bit more concerted in his concern. But
right.
For the most part, I mean, he lets the ladies do their thing.
Right. And even missing someone like Kiana Gilbert, when I went to the press conference before the SoCon tournament, his whole thing was, whenever we would ask him about Well, the freshmen have to step up and do it. He was just like, hey, next woman up.
Right.
The freshmen will do it then.
And even the other day when they had the press conference there for the WNIT there on Monday, he pretty much said the same thing, that he is going to be looking at the freshmen to really step up. You might as well get your feet wet, get right in the mix of things, because we may have to change lineups up a little bit, based on the situation. I mean, they have not faced a UAB since his first year here in Chattanooga. So, and he's kind of trying to get a little bit of a preview toward next season, because he is losing a few seniors, but I think he's well stocked.
Yeah, well, those freshmen are very capable. I mean, there have been some rough moments, obviously, but you will always have that with freshmen.
Right.
But yeah, they're very capable.
They're very talented. I mean, he does not go and just sign anybody up because they want to come to Chattanooga. I mean, he's looking for good quality students first, then athletes, and then from there you break off, and it's like, how good that they are in their fundamentals. That's one thing that he really is big into, is making sure that they've got the fundamentals. He does not want to have to be teaching them how to play basketball at 18 years old.
Right. That's not really the place necessarily.
Not when you get to this level.
Not unless you find someone that's like 6'11".
Even then, I think you may find it a little difficult. But still, 8 points is not bad.
No, that's very doable. It's 4 possessions.
Right.
And you're back in it.
So, all right. So maybe by the time you guys come on, we'll have a little bit more of a update, that we can give just before the end of the show.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I know when you guys get to talking millennial things, it's like sports wide.
It's not a sports show,
right?
Generally, though, we could have one show, just an entire show on combat sports.
Oh, I guess that would be a sport, but your traditional sports, it wouldn't fit, I'm sure. So, all right. So 30-22, UAB up on the women's box team. So, best of luck to them. So 423-800-8949 is the number to call for Sports Talk with Sam Jordan here on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM. We still got about 3 minutes or so, and then I have to clear out and get ready for these two gentlemen coming in here in just a little bit with two millennials talking, coming up after CBS World National News. Scheduled events for the UTC wrestlers that are up in Cleveland. First round got underway at noon today. Second round and Constellations got underway at 7. So we'll try to get you some updates on that and have it for the Nooga Radio Sports Minute. You'll hear throughout the day tomorrow. Quarters and constees are going to be at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and semifinals at 8 o'clock. And the medal rounds will be going on 11 a.m. on Saturday, and the finals at 8 o'clock. And from what I'm seeing here, the semifinals and the finals will be on ESPN TV. So if you want to get a chance, maybe you can catch Scotty Alonso or Bryce in action in one of those rounds. And best of luck to the Mox Wrestling team. All right, McCauley is going to be one of the host sites for the 2018 Scenic City Classic Baseball Showcase. Game starting on Thursday and running through Saturday. The Blue Tornado varsity team will play 4 games in 3 days on the Ridge, beginning Thursday at 6:30 p.m. That being today. Against Key West High School from Florida, McCauley will host a total of 9 games over 3 days at the Scenic City Classic. Going on today. Earlier was Magnolia Heights out of Mississippi taking on Key West, Florida. And then at 6:30, Key West taking on McCauley. Key West may be a little tired team by the time they're in action here with McCauley. Then over at the Baylor School, 7:30 p.m., Magnolia Heights taking on Baylor. That's just underway. Chattanooga Christian School at Hillcrest, Alabama, and Chattanooga Christian in action. And over at Walker Valley High School, may still be going on. Franklin County, Tennessee, taking on Walker Valley. And that got underway at 6 tomorrow. Action gets underway at McCauley at 1 with Hillcrest and Key West. At 4 o'clock, we'll have Lincoln County and Moore County. Both those are from Tennessee. At 7 o'clock, we'll have Moore County and McCauley. Over at Baylor School, Magnolia Heights and Hillcrest will start at 4:30. Lincoln County versus Baylor at 7:30. Over at Chattanooga Christian School will be a 4 o'clock start for Franklin County and Chattanooga Christian. Walker Valley High School will have Key West and Walker Valley going on at 6. Saturday, things will get concluded with sites and games being going over at McCauley beginning at 10 a.m. and the last game getting underway at 4. Baylor will have things going on 11 and 2, and Chattanooga Christian School at 11 and 2 as well. There is a daily admission charge to get you in any of the fields on that specific day. So just be prepared for that. And also, some of the games are being streamed live on macaulay.org/live. So the Scenic City Baseball Classic underway beginning today and going on through Saturday here in the Chattanooga area. That's going to do it for me, Sam Jordan. Best of luck to the UTC Mocs and also to Tennessee State as they're in the NCAA tournament. Until tomorrow, have a great evening. To Millennials Talking coming up with Russ and Keon, or Keon and Russ. Haven't figured out which is which. I know which one's which, but who has that lead? Who knows? Until next time, so long. Have a great evening.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m.